Welcome back to Father and Son Fix. In this episode, we're going to show you how to replace a worn crankshaft pulley like this, or the seal behind it if you need to, on your Mercedes using a tool that looks like this. And this is the tool that's going to hold the pulley in place while you're going to crack the bolt in the middle of it. And as you can see here, we've extended the tool, and we'll talk about that as well as we get into it. Now these steps cover the M112 and M113 engines, which can be found in cars like the Mercedes SL500. You also have it in the ML series, ML320, and the ML500. And you can even see these engines in the S-Class, in the S500 as well. Now the steps that we're going to show you in this video in particular are for an E-Class E320 4MATIC, although the steps are similar for other models that have the M112 and M113 engines. You may have to move some lines out of the way to get the pulley holder to sit against the frame rail there without it hurting those lines. Now on the E320, there's one bolt on top and another bolt underneath the oil pan that you can see here, and both of these bolts are an eTorx E8, and yours may vary for your model. Okay, now let's take a look at the tool here. To extend the tool, you're going to want a 21mm socket and an extension. So we're using the 1/2 inch so that we got a little more meat in the socket and the extension there. And the tool here we had to grind down to fit with the aftermarket pulley. We tried to avoid that by getting a specific type of pulley that we read about on Amazon, but that still didn't help. So we had to grind it down a little bit, as you can see here. We used a Dremel tool to do that. Now if you take a look here, you can see how we have the pulley holder in place to the left, out of the way of those lines, so we're not putting any pressure on those lines, and it's resting against the bottom of the frame rail there. And you're going to want to rotate the pulley to the right to get it to line up just so that holder locks in place in the right place without the pulley going too far to the left when you start to loosen the bolt. Depending upon the bolt that you have, it may be a hex type fitting. For us, it was a 27mm fitting. We have that using a 1/2 inch breaker bar and the handle from our jack, which is about 3 feet long, to provide enough leverage to break this bolt. And it does take a lot of leverage to break it. It's in there pretty tight. And you want to make sure that the holder is secured very well in there, snugly in the pulley and snugly against that frame member there. Alright, now once you've cracked the bolt, the pulley should come off pretty easily. For us, we were able to just wiggle it right off. And you can see why we replaced it. The rubber's starting to deteriorate and pull away from the metal, which is a sign of failure. Now here's a tip for when you get into getting the seal out. You can use a microfiber cloth or another rag to protect the crankshaft there as you pry that seal out. Now before you put that new seal back in, you're going to want to take note of where the key is, and that's that little piece of metal that sticks out. And you'll see on the replacement pulley there's a little piece that's cut out, and those need to match up perfectly for the pulley to slide on correctly. So you may want to take a note of that before you put the seal back in, because as you'll see, once the seal's in, it is even more challenging to see where that key is located. Now here's a tip for putting the seal back in. You can use a rubber mallet, press it in evenly on all sides first to get it started, then lightly tap it with even pressure using that rubber mallet to get it to seat in. Once you got it in pretty far, the pulley will do the rest as you bolt in that new pulley. Now, here we are again, and now we're going in the other direction where we're tightening the new pulley in. And this time you're going to have the pulley holder going to the right side. Thankfully here on the E320 there's nothing in the way. We've got a clear shot to that frame member. And you're going to want to have your torque wrench set for 147 foot-pounds or 200 Newton meters, and then you're going to do another quarter turn. Now you should double check those specs for your engine. Now here's our final tip, and this comes straight from Mercedes. To mark where to make that quarter turn, mark the outside of the pulley holder tool at 90 degrees, and that's going to show you how far you need to go. It's a great way to reference it, and it makes it really easy when you're tightening that bolt back in. Well, we really hope that all these tips helped and made it easier for you. Leave a comment down below to let us know whether you changed the pulley or the seal and which model Mercedes you have. Thanks for watching. If this helped you, please like, comment, or subscribe. We appreciate it. Thanks again. Have a great day.